In this video, we'll explore the importance of relationships in early childhood. Children learn and develop in the context of relationships. The most influential relationship a child will have in their lifetime is with their parents and family. However, there will be other relationships with their peers and educators that will also be very influential. Children also learn from observing the relationships and interactions around them. One of the most significant outcomes of having long-term relationships early in life is having good mental health and well-being.
So the first few years of a child's life are a time where there's an enormous growth in the brain, and it's growth that depends on the experiences that a child has. So when a child's environment is supportive, it's nurturing, it's accepting, it fosters learning, that environment actually helps the brain to grow in a certain way. And we know that brains are what's called use dependent. So the way you use it tends to be where the brain grows. And so, for example, if you're given lots of experiences where you're helped to manage, say, strong emotions that you have in a way where you start to make connections between thinking and feeling, that the brain grows in that way. So secure relationships where a child can predict how a relationship will be, and that really conveys to a child a sense of valuing the child and respecting the child and caring and loving the child. That kind of relationship with a parent or a carer or an educator will provide a really important foundation within the child for many aspects of their development. And the way this works is that in the early years, children's experiences in relating to others lays down maps of the way the world is. So it lays down maps about predicting how people will react. And it also lays down maps about who I am in those early years.
So I think that one of the ways that you can sometimes think about development, or this has been helpful for me, is almost as if the child's sense of self develops from the outside in. And so we learn, in a way, we learn how to care about and care for and manage ourselves through the way in which we're cared for. And so if there are people around us who are able to pick us up and comfort us when we're upset, or who feed us when we're hungry, or who are interested when we're trying to learn something new, it's almost as if that's part of the way in which we develop a sense of ourself as being someone who can manage things. You know, we learn that, yes, I'll get upset, but my experience is that then someone helps me calm down.
If we think about attachment relationships, one of the things that attachment relationships does is makes this child feel important, and it reflects onto the child that they're loved and that they are important in that person's life. So if we expand that out a little bit, then you can understand that if a child then feels included in things, they're going to feel that they're important, that they're valued, that people like them. And of course that then impacts on your sense of self, your sense of identity, your role in life. So all of those things then obviously contribute to the development of the person. And ultimately what you want is for these little people to develop into big people who feel confident, who feel happy, who can trust people, and who can go about their business.
Positive relationships are the foundation of creating a sense of community that support mental health and well-being. Relationships help people feel a sense of belonging and connectedness, and help promote respect for diversity and inclusion in an early childhood community.
In any service where you're trying to create a real sense of community, it is about relationships, about positive relationships. And those start with the adults, the educators. So educators working to develop their relationships, educator to educator, and their relationships, educators to family members, and showing respect and working together means that it strengthens that notion of community. We all connect through relationships at our service, and we want to keep building on those relationships. So It's about the doing, but it's also about articulating what you're doing and continually going back to what is happening with our relationships. Where are we up to with children's relationships? Where are we up to with adult relationships? And what do we need to enrich those further and to make them part of this community, this early childhood service?